DTM. What do we really know about this racing series? The race in which some of the best racers on the planet participate, the finest engineering minds in the automotive industry constantly refine the cars of this series, and such great manufacturers as Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW and others compete for the love of fans of this racing series. The DTM currently races a modified version of Group GT3 Grand Touring cars. But what do we really know about how the DTM series developed in the past? Which cars were the best among the best? Why were Opel and Alfa Romeo forced to leave the DTM series? And why was the series temporarily suspended in 1996? Let's figure it out. The first DTM started in 1984 as the German Production Car Championship. Privateer teams initially entered cars following FIA Group A rules, but over time, more modifications were allowed. In the late 1980s, works teams joined, making DTM one of Europe's popular motorsport championships. German racer Volker Stritzek became the inaugural DTM champion by winning the title in a BMW 635 CSI, despite not winning any of the 15 races that year. The BMW 635 CSI in Group A had a 3.4-litre water-cooled six-cylinder engine, generating approximately 290 horsepower and reaching a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. In 1985, the championship expanded internationally and introduced turbocharged engines. To maintain balance between turbocharged and naturally aspirated engines, handicap regulations persisted. A non-German brand made history by winning the title. The Volvo 240 Turbo, known as the Flying Brick, demonstrated remarkable speed. Following International Group A regulations, participating cars were directly sourced from the assembly line, and a minimum of 5,000 cars had to be built. Swedish driver Per Sturesen triumphed over formidable German competition and secured the 1985 title. The series continued to evolve rapidly over the following years, and in 1986 resulted in 5 different car brands and 13 cars being podium candidates. Ford brought Sierras, 635s were entered by BMW, Volvo entered with the same 240 turbos, and Rover participated with a Vitesse, while Mercedes has introduced its updated 190e race car. However amazing it may sound, in the 1986 season, the championship was claimed by a driver on Rover Vitesse. Of course, the big help for this was weight penalties and bad luck of the Ford Sierra. BMW couldn't sit idly, and a year later, in the 1987 season, presented its greatest creation, the BMW M3 in the E30 body, prepared for DTM. The BMW M3 DTM was not only iconic, but also very successful, made its debut in DTM in 1987, succeeding the M635 CSI. This deployment wasn't solely a factory endeavor. BMW Motorsport conceived and distributed the car to private teams, providing diverse forms of factory assistance. The factory bodies were marketed as kits, encompassing all components for assembly. Initially equipped with a modified 2.3 litres S14 engine, subsequent iterations, labelled Evolution 1, Evolution 2, and Sport Evolution, witnessed modifications derived from homologation specials, culminating in a 2.5 litres power unit for the latter. The 2.3 litres engine yielded approximately 300 horsepower, while the 2.5 litres version boasted around 340 horsepower, accompanied by a limiter shift to 9,300 RPM. Geared for circuit use, the car featured substantial 6-piston front brakes and standard-sized 4-piston rear brakes. Till today, M3E30 remains one of the most successful touring cars in the world, with more than 1,500 individual wins. The championship continued without significant changes until the year 1991. The prohibition of turbo engines prompted Ford to exit the competition, and Audi used this opportunity to join the series with their substantial 4-litre V8. Meanwhile, BMW and Mercedes opted for 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engines. Audi's robust V8 generated nearly 100 horsepower more, while having the Quattro all-wheel drive system from the production variant of the racing car. In wet conditions and on shorter tracks, Audi enjoyed numerous advantages over BMW and Mercedes. Couple years later, Alfa Romeo made its debut in DTM in 1993, and right from the beginning, the Italian automaker surpassed Mercedes with its impressive Alfa Romeo 155. The German manufacturer explained its underwhelming performance by asserting that the Mercedes 190 was outdated and a temporary solution. The introduction of the C-Class in 1994 marked the commencement of a genuine arms race among the three brands. Later on, Mercedes successfully surpassed Alfa Romeo with the help of a huge budget. The championship witnessed significant advancements in high-tech developments. Escalating budgets compelled private teams to withdraw from the competition, transforming DTM into a genuine factory-supported series from 1995. Facing challenges in adapting to high-tech developments, both Alfa Romeo and Opel struggled, allowing Mercedes to gain an edge. Unfortunately, like any other story, ours also has an end. Due to poor media exposure and television coverage, the lack of spectators visiting the tracks and huge investments by the teams, Alfa Romeo and Opel announced in September 1997 that they would leave the series. With Mercedes-Benz standing as the sole participant, the DTM series was subsequently terminated and returned back only in 2000s. But this is already another story.